All right, so are you ready to jump into a world of secrets and deception?
I am.
Buckle up because we're about to take a deep dive into a thriller novel called The First Lie
Mm-hmm.
and try to untangle the web of lies spun by a woman who I think could give even the most seasoned con artist a run for their money.
Oh, wow.
We're talking about Evie,
Evie. Okay.
and to help us unpack all the twists and turns, I've got our expert here who I think has some pretty insightful thoughts about this one.
Well, thank you. I'm excited to be here.
So can a person built on lies
Okay.
find true love and redemption?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's what we're going to try and find out.
Okay.
What I find so fascinating about this story is how it starts off.
Okay.
It seems like a completely normal situation.
Right.
You know, new couple Evie moves in with her boyfriend Ryan.
Uh-huh.
And at first glance, it's like your typical, oh, they're just starting their lives together kind of thing.
Right. Just kind of settling in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then there are these little things, these hints that something's not quite right.
Yes, exactly. Like, why would you insist on renting an unfurnished apartment
Right.
if you're planning to stay long term? It's
Especially
like she's deliberately trying to avoid leaving any traces.
makes you wonder what she's hiding.
It does.
Right.
You start to question everything.
Like, what's her end game here?
Exactly.
And then there's that lunch scene with Ryan's friends.
Oh, yeah.
They are so suspicious of Evie right from the start.
Oh, they can sense something's off.
But she handles their questions like a pro,
She does. She's so smooth.
reflecting every single one.
It's like she's building this whole narrative, this persona right in front of them.
It's almost like watching a masterclass in deception.
Exactly. It's both impressive and unnerving at the same time.
Totally agree. And then, bam,
Oh, here we go.
we find out that Evie is a highly skilled thief
Wow.
who takes on a new identity for every job.
So she's like a chameleon,
Right.
blending in, changing her colors.
It's incredible. The way she can compartmentalize her real self
Yeah.
from these roles she plays.
It's like she has multiple lives.
It's fascinating and a little bit scary if you think about it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
It makes you wonder if someone like that can ever truly connect with another person.
right. Can you build genuine relationships on a foundation of lies?
I mean, how much can Ryan really know about the woman he's falling for?
That's a really good point.
It's like he's in love with a phantom.
And just when you think you're starting to understand Evie's game,
What happens?
she takes a trip to Ryan's office in East Texas
Okay.
and overhears this super tense phone call.
Oh.
And it leaves you questioning whether Ryan might be involved in something shady.
Oh, so now we're not just suspicious of Evie.
Right.
Ryan's got some secrets, too.
Suddenly the stakes are a lot higher.
Definitely adds a whole new layer of intrigue.
Totally. It's like the author playing with us,
Yeah, keeping us on our toes.
making us question everything we thought we knew. And then just when you think you have a handle on things, Evie runs into a woman named Luca
Luca?
at a derby party.
Interesting.
And get this, Luca looks exactly like Evie.
Oh, why?
I know. It's like, whoa, where is this story even going?
Talk about a curveball.
It's mind-blowing.
The reader is left hanging, wondering, who is this Luca? What's her connection to Evie?
Right.
What does it all mean for Ryan?
Like, is this a twin sister? A doppelganger?
The possibilities are endless.
Exactly. And then things take a really dark turn.
Okay.
There's a horrific car accident,
Oh, no.
and James Ryan's friend and Luca are involved.
So tragic.
Ryan is absolutely devastated,
Oh.
but Evie's reaction, it's strange.
How so?
It's almost like she's detached from the whole thing,
That is odd.
which just makes those doubts about her even stronger.
Like, is she really capable of genuine emotion?
It makes you question everything about her.
It does.
Like, is this just part of her act?
Right, or is there something darker going on beneath the surface?
Exactly, and that's where we'll leave things for now.
Oh, man, the suspense is killing me.
I know, right? We've just scratched the surface of this tangled web of secrets and lies.
I can't wait to see what happens next.
Stay tuned because in the next part of our deep dive, we're going to uncover even more shocking revelations about Evie and the people in her life.
Okay, I'm ready.
It's like she's at this crossroads trying to figure out who she is and who she wants to be.
Yeah.
And then, as if she doesn't have enough to deal with, Evie ends up going to Oxford, Mississippi with Ryan.
Oxford, Mississippi.
Yeah, and they go to confront this football coach named Mitch Cameron.
Okay.
And get this, she demands compensation for past services.
Oh, wow. So she's got some leverage over him.
Sounds like it, right? It's pretty intense.
It is. It really flips the power dynamic. You have Evie, This woman who's been living in the shadows.
Right.
Suddenly calling the shots.
It's like she's taking back control.
Exactly. She's not letting anyone manipulate her anymore.
And just when you start to think maybe Evie is breaking free from her past, she gets a new assignment. She has to uncover the identity of the mysterious Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith, the puppet master.
The one and only, and here's the kicker, Ryan has been working for him all along.
Oh, talk about a double betrayal.
I know, right? It just throws everything into question.
It makes you wonder if Evie can trust anyone at this point.
It's a tough spot to be in, for sure.
It is. It really highlights how much of her life has been about survival, about manipulating situations to stay ahead.
But with this latest twist, it feels like she might finally be reaching her breaking point.
Yeah, the walls are closing in.
And then, bam, we get the final showdown. Evie confronts Mr. Smith.
I bet that was intense.
Oh, it was. And guess what? Mr. Smith is actually George, the seemingly harmless messenger.
No way.
Wait, yeah, I know, right? Talk about a plot twist.
The author really played us.
It's like the entire story has been leading up to this moment.
Yeah, and Evie being Evie, she doesn't just confront George. She comes up with this whole elaborate plan to expose him.
It's pretty brilliant.
It is. She takes back control and delivers this knockout punch to the man who's been pulling the strings.
It's a satisfying moment, for sure.
Definitely, it shows her resilience, her refusal to be a victim.
But even with George exposed and his schemes out in the open, there's still this lingering sense of unease.
Like, what happens to Evie now?
Right. Can she really escape her past and start a new life?
Can she outrun the shadows of all those lies and deceptions?
These are the questions that stay with you long after you finish the book.
The author doesn't give us easy answers.
No, instead, we're left to grapple with these complex themes of identity redemption and the consequences of our choices.
It's thought-provoking stuff.
It is, and that's what makes The First Lie such a compelling read.
Yeah, it really makes you think.
Yes, like it gets under your skin.
About the choices we make and the masks we wear.
Even in our own lives.
Right, like how much of who we are is shaped by our past.
Exactly, and can we ever truly outrun the consequences of our actions?
I mean, can we even forgive ourselves for the mistakes we've made? That's a tough one.
It is, and then there's the whole question of trust.
Oh yeah, trust is huge in this story.
Can you ever really know someone?
Especially when they've built their life on secrets.
I mean, look at Evie and Ryan.
Right. Their relationship is a perfect example.
Even love, it seems, can be tainted by doubt.
It makes you wonder if real intimacy is even possible.
When you're always hiding parts of yourself.
And what happens when those walls start to crumble? Can love survive that kind of betrayal?
Evie's story isn't just some thriller.
No, it's so much more than that.
It's a reflection of the human condition.
Exactly. It's about our vulnerabilities, our capacity for both good and bad.
And that struggle to figure out who we really are.
Yeah, like who we want to be versus who we actually are.
But even with all the darkness, there's this glimmer of hope.
Right.
Evie chooses to fight back.
Against the people who manipulated her.
She reclaims her power and exposes the truth.
No matter the cost.
Which is pretty inspiring when you think about it.
It is. It shows that even when we feel trapped, we always have the power to choose a different path.
Exactly. Evie's story is like this testament to the resilience of the human spirit.
It reminds us that we're not defined by our mistakes.
But by how we learn from them.
And grow.
The ending might be ambiguous.
Yeah.
But that's part of what makes it so brilliant.
It leaves us thinking about the possibilities, imagining what might happen next for Evie.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into The First Lie, we're left with this sense of wonder and a lot of unanswered questions.
It definitely stays with you.
Can Evie find peace and build a life free from her past? Can she forgive herself and those who've wronged her?
Who knows?
Only time will tell.
Maybe there's a sequel.
Maybe. But one thing is for sure, Evie's story reminds us that even in the darkest of times, there's always a chance for redemption.
A chance for a new beginning.
And that's a pretty powerful message to carry with us.
It is. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into The First Lie. We'll see you next time.